Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anti-Life Reviews. This is episode number 72, and I am the Tono Makaya, Master of Minds and of Men. And we are at the end of this huge event, this big month, the first, the best, the Annihilation event. Today we look at the main series itself, Annihilation issues 1 through 6, which ran from August 2006 to January 2007. And there was a hell of a lot of setup for this. Can it live up to the high standards set thus far, or will it be a dud in the end? Let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty and find out. Of course, before we begin, please subscribe, please like. I'm a small channel, but I can grow with your help. And you know what? You're only going to do one good thing this month, and that's subscribing here, because Lord knows you're not going to do anything else. But the writers and artists on this, the writer on this is Mr. Keith Giffen. Talked about Mr. Giffen this month the most. This really is his rodeo, and it's been thus far a pretty goddamn good experience. And this is where things get really good, the good. Like I've said before, Keith is a hyper-consistent writer with a great sense of humor. Highly recommend Justice League International, the 1987 series, as an example of his writing. Whole run was Keith at the helm. So yeah, maybe I'll review that at some point. Artist on this was Andrea DeVito, so an artist that has worked on a number of Marvel projects such as Nova, Beta Ray Bill, and various miniseries. Pretty dependable Marvel-style artist that worked on the infinitely disappointing The Union comic, which disregarded a lot of Marvel UK characters in ways that I just hated. They have so many good European characters that don't get used, and they add a bunch of poorly thought out ones that no one cares about. Whatever, not their fault, but just whatever. Awesome covers by Gabriela Del Otto. And so here we are, the big event. We have everyone in place. Nova and Drax are together, with both men getting power ups and downs. Nova going down, or Nova going up, Drax going down by a long shot with Nova. Super Skrull is dead or not, or whatever, has a sexy robot lady with him, so fine. Ronan and Gamora are together and ready for battle, no real difference in their power. Silver Surfer got a big power up, becoming the Herald of Galactus again, with the former Heralds working for him as well, or with him. Thanos has sided with both Annihilus and some ancient evils on equal power to that of Galactus. To what end? Who knows? Of course, Annihilus is ripping through the universe with his hordes, his cosmic control rod, and now the quantum bands, which he took off the dead Quasar. That's where we are. Issue number 1. So the framing of this is from that of Richard Rider. Nova, we get his narration the whole way through, sort of cementing him as the main character of the story, because he is. It's 6 months into the Annihilation waves, utter decimation of every planet in the sight. Skrulls are gone, essentially. Richard and his team are holding on a planet in the Kree sector. We have Star-Lord and Gamora as Richard's close companions, with Ronan leading the Kree, and Drax and Cammy sort of hanging out, discussing how Drax really just wants to kill Thanos. They fall back on this planet, but make a stand, and thankfully are able to hold off the wave as the former Heralds of Galactus gain a measure of victory when Firelord gets one of Annihilus's queens, who help breed the bugs and control part of the hive mind. Nova and Gamora in sort of a romantic relationship, such as it is, and Thanos and Annihilus argue about Thanos getting Annihilus the power cosmic. Richard and Peter talk to the Bug Queen. She tells them the war is lost. It's lost now for them because Annihilus has taken down Galactus. And we see Aegis, she of the All Sorrows, and Tenebrous of the Darkness, ancient evils, from when the Klin was broken over by the Annihilation wave, who brokered a peace with Thanos. They take down Galactus and the Silver Surfer. And we get a humbling statement at the end with Richard Rider, Nova, saying he believed every word she said. They took down Galactus. God help us. A great opening issue. It's very bleak. It's presented as a war. People are tired. They're scared. They're sick of fighting. Nova is a great commander, strong leader who feels himself becoming more and more compromised by the actions he has to take to secure people, to protect the universe. Peter and Richard's relationship is great. Save Cammy. She's an AC-teen, so she's not really a human. They're the only ones from Earth in this whole thing. So they talk like friends. They have light jokes, but talk about the reality of the situation. Yeah, Peter is presented humorous but serious here, sarcastic and wise, a long way away from the Flanderization we get from him today, where he's a bumbling oaf. Thanos and Annihilus is seen as great. Annihilus is used to bossing everyone around, but he can't to Thanos. He simply cannot. He sort of like is real petty, gets these little jokes in while he can, but Thanos doesn't seem to care either way. But him watching the two elder things take down Galactus, Thanos does, and he just has a smirk on his face, and it's great. Hell of a way to open things up and gives us a really nice sense of scope. Issue 2. If I sound a little bit different, I'm recording this at different times between 1 and 2, and I did get a little bit sick, so please bear with me for the remainder of this. Phi Lavelle shows up. She's the daughter of the original Captain Marvel. In Marvel, that's Marvel. and sister of Genisval. She shows up to talk to Drax, revealing Thanos took Moondragon, whom is Drax's daughter and Phyla's lover. She presents Moondragon's ear and earring as proof, as Thanos wanted Drax to have it, but Drax is pretty disaffected by the whole thing, seemingly. Ronan, finding the Kree leadership to be, well, bureaucratic and impotent, kills them, and now Ronan is in charge of the Kree. The sexy girl robot from the Super Skrull mini is here with the Skrull's body. Wonder where that's going to go. Ravenous, one of Annihilus's generals, arrives with a bunch of people under his control, including Terex the Tamer and Pybok. He then summons Centurions, as he calls them, which are a bunch of aliens who freely work for Annihilus. This leads to things going poorly. Thanos, meanwhile, has the captured Galactus and Silver Surfer, and he says he will know how to give Annihilus the power cosmic soon. This issue is only okay at best, essentially a bunch of people showing up randomly for things to happen. Phyla, Sexy Girl Robot, Super Skrull, Ravenous just show up on the planet without anyone really noticing. At least Ravenous gets a line from Peter Quill about that he used Thanos' special teleportation to get here. Everyone else just kind of came to a war zone without much note. Ravenous is sort of not a super interesting villain. He looks like Drax, and the Centurions are, whatever, general aliens who work for Annihilus. I get at least they aren't bugs, but the bug guys are kind of cool. At least their idea. They are characters controlled by like bugs inside of them, and you see bugs crawling around all over them. And when you cut them, they like pour out. Gamora is pure sexy here as usual. Seeing Galactus and Surfer all bound up and hurt is pretty harrowing, and it really presents you with the villain that we should be fearing here. Thanos. He even has a bomb line in Phyla Bel's flashback. When asked if he knows what the word friendship means, Thanos goes, I have a nodding acquaintanceship with the concept. Overall, a lot weaker, though not bad at all. Issue number 3. These covers are great. They're so good. This issue is about loss. Thanos has adapted his teleportation tech to the Annihilation Wave. I'll say that again. Thanos has adapted his teleportation technology to the Annihilation Wave. That's it. The planet is taken, with the former heralds realizing it right away and being able to clear paths to emergency ships. Nova says it in a way it was simply astonishing. Complete, total, utter. There aren't enough words to describe this level of devastation. Everyone who can flee does so, and the former heralds help to usher those out. Something really bad is coming, more than the Annihilation Wave. Super Skrull is revealed alive, to the surprise of no one. And Drax the Destroyer stays behind, making sure Peter Quill gets Cammy off-world before diving headfirst into the wave. And then we find it out. Thanos understands the power cosmic, and he knows how to use it. He uses Galactus as a weapon. And destroys the planet the heroes were on. Nova tells us this is what defeat tastes like. This is how a world dies. Super Skrull and Ronan go off to get the rest of the Kree Empire to fight for them. Before going, Ronan tells Richard were he Kree, he would call him brother. Gamora and Peter tell Richard the hard truth. They lost. This is it. They can hide and fight, but this is no longer a war. Peter tells Richard to call the Fantastic Four. What an issue. Really good stuff here. Just devastating to everyone. We taste real defeat. And the fact everyone is like, this is it. No more. War done. Sorry. Just added some scope to it. Peter Quill gets a lot of personality here. I love Keith writing him. He even flirts with Phyla during battle while maintaining that edge to him. Once again, the big bad, Thanos. It's really horrifying here. I do want to bring something up. Why the Super Skrull mini sucked. Part 2. Super Skrull is revealed alive, reducing that ending to being mute. They mentioned talking to Reed Richards here, but according to that, in the Super Skrull mini, Richards already knows about this, which hurts the impact of this here, what's going on. And the fact that in the Super Skrull mini, Annihilus had world-busting tech, which really hurts this awesome moment of them needing the power of Galactus to do that. Skip the Super Skrull mini if you want to read this. It hurts my enjoyment of everything just a tiny little bit. Issue 4. This one is about 2 people, Drax and Thanos. Thanos has finally given Annihilus what he wants, unlimited power by the way of the power cosmic. But Thanos has Moondragon around for a reason. He uses her, a powerful psychic, to find out what Annihilus really is up to. She tells him what he wants, not just unlimited power or the negative zone to be avenged, but the literal death of every living creature in the universe, and every universe beyond that. Thanos isn't thrilled with that and decides to release Galactus, as only he can. He has a failsafe. This leads us to Drax the Destroyer, pulling a pineal white strake and carving a bloody path through hordes of bugs, stealing a ship and going to find Thanos, the literal reason he is who he is. He makes it to Thanos, hitting his daughter out of the way. Just before Thanos releases Galactus, Thanos sees Lady Death still a child, and he gets it as Drax rips Thanos' heart out, while Moondragon looks on in horror, as he was the only person who could release Galactus. Elsewhere, Nova and Peter Quill discuss the Marvel Civil War and how they can't trust the heroes of Earth. A great issue, some logic issues with the Thanos Drax thing, but I'll overlook them for the sake of storytelling and it being a comic. Moondragon is mostly useless here due to having bugs inside of her. A cool part where Thanos flays the skin on her arm and you see bugs crawling around. The death of Thanos, this was huge and lasted for quite a long time. We'll see him again in this event in other ways, though. Honestly, Drax is presented so awesome here, and it's really refreshing to see that character get used appropriately. Issue 5. 2 stories here, one about Ronan the Accuser, and one about Drax the Destroyer. Let's start with Ronan. Him and the Super Skrull go to the ruling Kree class, where they find them in cahoots with Ravenous, and thus with Annihilus. Ronan kills Ravenous after a very cool battle in an awesome way, just braining him with his hammer, shattering his universal weapon. He then kills the Kree ruling class, then goes to the Supreme Intelligence, the Kree god, essentially, and it's brain dead, and Ronan puts it out of its misery. The people champion to Ronan's side, calling out for him to be their new hero, their new leader, as he wonders what becomes of the Kree now. Drax, thinking smart, releases the Silver Surfer, and I like him and Moondragon talk about what Thanos was going to do. Drax literally had no idea he was trying to help. He's like, how could I? So I buy that. But the Surfer, with the last of his power, releases Galactus, who calls out, "You know me, Annihilus. Know me and no fear." Alright, Galactus is free. Annihilus' major generals, Ravenous and Thanos, are gone. The Kree are united. We're going into the end game, another solid issue, really giving us a place where the heroes can fight back. Issue 6, final issue, The Victory. Silver Surfer and Galactus are free. The Kree are ready for battle. Richard Rider is full Nova. Annihilus has no chance. Galactus tells the Surfer to herald his rage as he blitzes the Annihilation wave. Galactus literally blows up a planet to destroy a portion of them. Ravenous is not dead, just mangled and mutilated. But the Kree give no quarter and go after their now weakened wave. Annihilus faces down Nova, Phyla, and Star-Lord. Nova and Annihilus fight in a seriously epic battle. Phyla tries to join in but is batted back, but the quantum bands recognize her as Captain Marvel's daughter, and they leave Annihilus for her, making her the new Quasar, which will go nowhere. Though she can't use them against Annihilus because of how powerful he is, he absorbed most of their power at this point. Richard Rider is done. He's done with all of this. Annihilus says you can't pierce his body armor, so he beats up Annihilus, reaches down his throat, and rips his guts out for the Nova Corps, he says. Richard falls, half dead. He won, but looming nearby is Thanos and an adult Lady Death, and Richard says, "I see you. Better luck next time." Afterwards, Richard heals. Ravenous and Ronan sign a peace treaty where the Annihilation hordes get to keep a few of the Kree planets, which they are not happy about. Galactus and Silver Surfer are back to their old ways, finding planets for the big man to eat. The Heralds mourn their losses. Super Skrull and Drax have seemingly disappeared. Phyla and Moondragon reunite as lovers. I think I mentioned that. With Phyla being the new Quasar, as I said before. Cammy, well, Skreet has joined up with her. Skreet was Thanos' little sexy elf thing. As for the rest, who knows? Richard says maybe he will start the Nova Corps up again. Maybe, but for now, they save the universe, and that sounds pretty good. In the end, we see a baby Annihilus being born, as Ravenous holds him up to the cheering crowd of bugs, much like a macabre lion king. Let's go right to the overview. So let's talk about This Many and the series overall. This Many, great, very good, probably the best part of the whole series. You could read the prologue in this and really not miss a beat. Just keep that in mind if you want to experience the Annihilation story. You do not need to read the minis or Drax or Thanos, but they do add to the experience. That being said, I think the pacing was good. The weakest issue was 2, but even that wasn't that bad. It was just weaker than the others. I like how it was presented in this kind of non-traditional format with Annihilus winning right off the bat, and then it's about the regroup and then the counterattack. I know it's been done, just a nice way of pacing it out. It never got boring. I do think we left a lot of characters in the dust here. Gamora was a big one that did nothing but look hot. Kind of nothing character in this. Peter Quill as well. Thanos, Nova, Drax were the big winners here, and Nova would get a pretty damn good ongoing coming out of this. Overall, a really fun, exciting, and well-done experience in the Marvel comic space. As far as the individual comics themselves, I'll go over them real briefly. Thanos, first half was garbage, second half was brilliant. Drax, fine, bad art, totally fluff though. Nova, probably the second best mini, but the most important one, interesting art, good story. Silver Surfer, boring, mostly. Super Skrull, awful, bad. The black spot in the series, really horrid. Ronin, my favorite mini. Fun, exciting, dangerous. I would have liked to see more of that. Well, that was it. Annihilation month. Done, over, complete. What do you think of my review of Annihilation? Would you like to hear more about Cosmic Marvel around this time? Let me know down below. So don't forget to go on my Patreon and tell me what you want me to review. Hit me up on Instagram at Demon Peaks for daily Twin Peaks content, memes, etc. Don't forget to watch my podcast, the Dark Peaks Podcast. Me and another gentleman talk about crack cocaine. Next week I go for something a little less heavy is look at Rick and Morty Go to Hell. This has been the Tona Makaya, Master of Minds and of Men. And thank you, and goodbye.